Alright, hello Exiles. Today I bring to you the 15 Mean Ballista build. I've been working on this for the past few days. I wanted to determine exactly how many siege ballistas could I have in a build with it still being somewhat viable with decent resist and enough life to at least survive a low level map. So first off, I started as a Hierophant. This is a level 90, 113 point build. My base passive dex from my build is 364. Just to kind of show you a little bit about what the build looks like. Start over here is the Hierophant. Coming down here, getting these strength nodes, dex nodes, totem placement speed, totem damage. Here with the fluid motion, we're converting all of our strength into dex. Another dex node, another fluid motion jewel, giving us 54 total dex. This jewel right here gives us about 114 dex. We get 20 dex of life, 20 strength life here. Another fluid motion giving us 20, 30, 40, 50, 64 dex. We pick up Ancestral Bond for a second totem. Then we come over here towards the Scion. The Scion, we're going to pick up another fluid motion giving us 64 dex. Come down to the Scion life wheel. We got to get this 20 strength node here. Some more totem placement speed. Another Scion life jewel with fluid motion giving us another 64 dex worth of strength. Here we have another fluid motion jewel giving us 54 dex. Then we're going to come down this way. Here we start using our bronze jewels, 6% increased dexterity. Come down around the duelist. Here we're going to pick up this for the 20 strength, this for the 20 strength. Got another 10 strength here, 10 strength here. Altogether, this fluid motion jewel gives us about 84 dexterity. Then we're going to come up here, take the last Scion jewel. We're using a bronze there, 6% increased dexterity. Here, bronze jewel, 6% increased dexterity. Here, I did the math. I didn't know if a bronze would be better or not. It turns out I have so much dex and increased dex that actually using a fluid motion here and speccing into prowess for the 30 strength was actually better. That gives us 54 dexterity. Then I come up here, get another 20 dex, 10, 30 dex. Come up here, use another bronze jewel. I think total it's 12 jewels. The last jewel, we come down here for another bronze jewel. Altogether, we have approximately 364 dexterity from passives alone. From our jewels, I summed them all up here, 64, 54, 104, etc., etc., etc. I just went through all this. Total, our jewels give us 542 dex with an additional 24% increased dex. The gear, I'm using these gloves here. They give me 48 dexterity. Belt with 58 dexterity. Boots with 53 dexterity. Brisk wrap for the 15% increased dexterity. This ring is actually the highest dex I believe you can get on a ring, or very close to it. It's 70, or sorry, which one? Yeah, 73 dexterity on a ring. And then we have 42, 52, 57 dexterity on this ring. And then for the helmet, we're using Black Suncrest for 15% increased dexterity. And Astramentus, it's one-off perfect, so it's 115 dexterity. Total, that brings us to, from armor, approximately 403 dexterity, plus an additional 30% increased. If we add our passives and our armor together, we have 766 dexterity with an additional 30% increased. Our jewels is 542 plus 24% increased. So our total base flat dex plus our increased is around 1,362 dexterity plus 54% increased dexterity. It's actually equal to 2,097.5, but the game says we have 290 dexterity. Currently, a tooltip is being scaled pretty much purely by the physical damage to attacks per 25 dexterity from Iron Commander. We're sitting with a tooltip with 0 auras, no buffs, no anything, of 3.7k. We also are using this Skirmish 2-point arrow quiver. This gives us an additional totem. With that, plus Ancestral Bond, plus Hierophant, which gives us 2, plus 10 from Dexterity, from 2,000, plus the 1 base, gives us a total of 15 Siege Ballistas. My Skirmish 2-point arrow quiver also has an additional arrow corrupted on it, which is what gives us the 2 projectiles per ballista. So it's about 7.4 per ballista times 15. It equals 111,000 damage per second. Just to show you what this looks like, this is 15 totems. Now I'm going to demonstrate the massive amount of damage that this build can do. I'm going to set up all my totems. Another nice thing about the Hierophant is the fact that this normally would cost a shit ton of mana. It would normally cost around 45 mana per cast. 45 times 15 means you have to have about 675 mana in order to cast this. With Hierophant, as long as you're on full energy shield, you cast for free, which makes it really nice for setting up 15 ballistas right before you're about to completely dominate the boss. So we're going to demonstrate this on Val. Alright, let's do this. Unleash Hell! You see that? One shot. Insane damage. Absolutely fucking insane. What I really forgot to mention was, it's been about 3 days kind of theory crafting this and coming up with a way to do it. I had a level 90 Hierophant already. So I spent about 94 regrets completely respecking him. And there's one tiny thing I overlooked that consequently had a tremendous impact on the build. And it's this right here. Hierophant can have up to 2 additional totems summoned at a time. When I read that, I was like, no brainer. That's 2 additional totems. I'll easily hit 15. I didn't really read past that. Underneath it, it says 8% less totem damage per totem. 120% less damage. So with 15 totems out, as I'll demonstrate on this essence, it does absolutely 0 damage as long as I have 15 totems out. 120% less damage actually brings me to negative 20 damage. Negative 20% damage. Slight overlook on my part, but I thought it was fucking hilarious. So I had to share this with everyone. So, just so you know, it is possible to hit 15 Siege Ballistas. Honestly, it's probably actually possible to hit 16 or 17. I just wanted to make it playable. And if it wasn't for that tiny thing right there, it probably would be.